Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of TheParkGod. Please excuse seeing all the craziness that's going on in my background. I'm cleaning, so it won't be like this all the time. I swear, I promise. It may be like this a little bit. Today I wanted to try to do something a little different. I did already do videos like this on my TikTok and my YouTube shorts, where I basically come up with ideas for rides that have not been made at any park, and I kind of implement, you know, different storylines or sort of ride mechanics that I think would fit in each of these sort of situations. In one of my videos, I even added Big Hero 6 from Kingdom Hearts and said how that could be an awesome interactive ride. It's pretty awesome. Boom, it's right here. Definitely check that out. But this time for this video, I wanted to start off a little different. I feel like because I've already done 3 sort of short videos about rides, I wanted to challenge myself by doing one. So in this episode, even though it's called If I Could Build a Ride Part 1, I think this one's gonna be called If I Could Build a Horror Maze Part 1. But before we get into the video, do not forget to like and subscribe so you guys can see some more amazing content. Let's go ahead and get into it. So what makes a good horror maze? I'm glad you asked. Let's figure that out. For me, horror mazes have 3 marks that they have to hit. They have to have ambiance, they have to have creativity when it comes to their storylines, and they also have to have their surprise elements. So for instance, if I'm going through a maze but it feels like it's lacking one of these things, I don't believe I will feel as scared as I possibly could be. There's nothing like going inside of a maze and getting not only a full storyline so you know what you're getting yourself into, seeing it unfold before you like it's in a movie set, but on top of it, you get the element of surprise and the ambiance that fits the narrative. I would like to start off with my first example being a Not Scary Farm maze. Origins The Curse of Calico is one of my favorite mazes at Not Scary Farm. First of all, it's there every single year. I don't really know if I've been there before and it wasn't there, but I think it also explains their ghost town, so it just makes total sense why it would always be there. To me, this maze is the exact type of energy I want if you have to come up with something on your own and you don't have any big IP to go off of. This maze has this old town sort of vibe, so the eeriness of seeing it all deteriorating and just being so wooden based just gives me the creeps in itself. Seeing old beds and just the level of detail that they have in showing this sort of ghost town that you're immersing yourself and walking through really sets the mood for me. I also really appreciate the transitioning between going through the ghost town to entering sort of the witch's domain. You go from walking and trudging through this sort of old cowboy ghost town to trudging through a witch's cave. Like, talk about a complete shift. I also have to respect Not Scary Farm the fact that they don't use the same sort of style of jump scares that Halloween Horror Nights usually has to do. They use elements that they have. They have the walls, they have sort of these clicking shoes that spark up. Like, they have to come up with other creative ways to create loud noise, banging, and surprises for you that isn't just an automated voice thing. Also, pre-show things, in my opinion, are always super important. It sets the mood when you're waiting outside. You're already annoyed that you're in line. You've probably been there for like an hour or so. It's nice that you can get a show that gives you a backstory about where you're about to enter. Like, it's fantastic. It's also the fact that the characters usually interact with the audience. I'm completely fine with that. Look, I'm gonna be real. If I'm sitting there and like I know this monster isn't supposed to talk to me and then they're helping me out, okay, yeah, don't do that. Don't do that because you're no longer scary. You take me out of the immersion. But in the case of I'm about to enter the house and the characters are able to interact and talk with me or whatever, like, yeah, do that. I love that. It gives it levity. It gives it like, oh my god, if they're lit like this outside, how lit are they gonna be inside? But I can't forget about my King Horror Nights, the absolute GOAT. They, to me, are the highest tier of Halloween mazes you can get. When it comes to looking at Halloween Horror Night stuff, they have the power of IP. By default, you're automatically gonna have a win because who doesn't enjoy going through a horror maze of a movie they just watched? We all love creativity and we all love when people do original concepts because that can sometimes inspire new storylines that you could do at your park. But to have a guaranteed IP movie, you will always have people walking through. One of my favorites I like to mention is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre maze that they had at Halloween Horror Nights. Details up the wazoo. I mean, the smells, the things you saw, the vibes, the aura that you had in there, and the fact that honestly, some people think it's cheap, but I love it. I think it's great that they use loud noises mixed with glass breaking to give the sort of, and a scream to give the fear factor for you, because yeah, it's an automatic fear factor. These are very eerie things that humans don't like to hear. But my ultimate favorite is going to have to be the Trick or Treat maze. This maze was so detailed and so scary. I remember when I was walking through, watching the kid choking on the chocolate that the guy fed him, and I remember the way that the guy just stared at me with the giant knife. Something in that just did not feel right in my soul. I was a little shook. And from that moment on, I had to watch the movie. I watched that movie every single year, and that's how you do a good maze. The point is you put people onto a movie that they may not have seen because the maze was so fire. I had never seen Killer Clowns in Outer Space before until I did the maze. I had no choice. I had to see what I had just experienced, which leads me to the maze I would want to build is gonna be from the movie Nope. Now hold on. I know you guys are like, whoa. Of all the horror movies, of all the horror ideas you could have come up with, what made you come up with Nope? Why would you even come up with Nope? We already have a Nope experience that we walked through in Halloween Horror Nights Hollywood. Why would they need a maze? Let me explain something to you guys. First of all, I love Jordan Peele. But second of all, I feel like his maze for us was absolutely fantastic. That thing followed the movie to the T. I mean, even when you first walk into where she gets swapped, oh, don't want to spoil. Nothing. I said nothing. The point I'm trying to make is that maze was so unique because I had never experienced anything that was so close to following the movie to the T for me to experience that I was like, why is there not another Jordan Peele maze? And they gave him this section in Nope, but I feel like we can do something better. I would love it that right before you got into the maze, you were hearing the Jupiter's Claim mantra. You are hearing Ricky Park, aka Jupe Park, explain Jupiter's Claim right before you get inside with the nice little cowboy right at the top. I would also like very small little hints of jean jackets sort of like whispering kind of in the background just to give it that eerie feel of like, ooh, you're entering the bad part of the world. Now this is gonna kind of sound out there, but I would really love it if we could get the actors to sit on the bleachers like how they were waiting for Jean Jacket to show up in Jupiter's Claim, sort of watching the audience go inside like they are the show, like they are the horses that we're watching, and we can kind of just like see the humans getting filed inside of the maze, and they're kind of just cheering you guys on like you're part of the show. Metaphorically, it would be like you guys are the ones getting sucked up like the horses were, and they're watching to see what happens. One thing I think would also be really cool to have is to add ceiling things. I don't feel like we ever have to look up when we're at a maze. I mean, I know there's certain elements where we do, but I feel like this is the moment for us to finally actually play with having to look above us. It would be really cool if they could have sort of air vents or anything that could possibly surprise you from above that you're not expecting. I also want to take some inspiration from Halloween Horror Nights in Orlando. So the amount of space that they have is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, these guys are fitting whole fake houses inside. I would love it if we were walking through and we were able to enter an area where Jean Jacket is basically just filling the entire house with blood and we're walking inside of that bloody house. That would really set the mood to be like, what's in there? Because in that moment, we can have the aliens, the fake aliens that we thought were real, we can have those kids peeking in and out to scare you during that time. Now, the last part probably won't be as scary, but I kind of look at it as more of a spectacle, just like how Stranger Things was, where you were walking through. That area wasn't really scary, but it was fantastic to look at. I would love it if right above we just had a gigantic jean jacket just giving us this sort of vacuum feeling, like it's sucking us up, like as if like maybe we have vents underneath that are blowing the air right up, so it feels like you could get sucked right up inside of jean jacket while you're walking through this part of the maze. Maybe even have some severed people sort of like hanging around, you know, begging to run away or get some help or something like that. I don't know, that would just seem really cool for me. And the delicious cherry on top is right when you're leaving is Jupiter Claim being like, see you around, make sure to come back soon. That would be pretty lit. But anyways, let me know if that's a maze that you guys think would be really fun and interesting to go into, and let me know if you guys would like more if I could build a maze sort of videos, or when I start making some more, if I could build a roller coaster or ride videos. I'm definitely gonna be taking inspiration if you guys write stuff in the comments. This is really fun for me to do. I enjoy coming up with the creativity of figuring out like how I would do things and where I would get my inspiration from, so please let me know in the comments. But as always, I will see you guys in the lines. Peace.